good morning, good evening, whatever time of the day it is, where you're from. I appreciate you taking the time out, not just to, purchase something that you feel would be an asset to you, but investing in yourself and taking action. In this guide, my mission is to over deliver, get you, whether you're a new investor or old investor, meaning, you got time in the game to realize that you can be putting property management fees back into your pocket, back into your family's pocket by hiring them as a property manager, opposed to giving someone your paychecks that you went out and acquired the money for, acquired the property, put in the blood, sweat, and tears to get the property renovated, remodeled, only for you to hand over control to AKA a property manager to pay you every month what they feel that they want to pay you. Because believe me, there will always be additional fees on top of their 7 to 8 to 10%. Some property managers charge less depending on how many rental properties, aka doors, you bring them to manage. Now, this isn't a bash on property managers. This is not saying that all property managers are created equal. What I am saying is, starting out, a lot of people factor in 10% for property management fees and cost, which can be a deal breaker for a lot of people that barely making any spread from purchasing a rental property. So my name is Frank from Pittsburgh. I am an advisor. I like to call myself because a lot of people just need some advice. Don't really need what's considered, in the social media world, a mentor. So I'm here to give you advice. I've been investing in real estate since 1999. And as some of you know, that is way before the internet. I have fixed and flipped and wholesaled over 40 something properties, um, some by accident, some by mistake, but all throughout the process, learning and doing it by creating a skill set and strategies. I currently manage, control, own, whatever you want to call it, over 22 properties and don't have a property management company. When I learned and I got into the business of real estate, nobody was preaching, teaching, and talking about you must get a property manager. We all knew someone at the time, and we all do still know someone that knows how to fix any and everything, whether somebody in our family or somebody not in our family. When you're starting out in this business anyway, you should have a team of people that can fix anything that may go wrong with a property and have them on speed dial. That um, that information right there and those particular people will be key to saving you a lot of money from paying someone just in case something happens every month. If you put your properties together with glue instead of tape, as I refer to it as, you should not have a problem or a phone call within 6 months to a year. So now, instead of you paying somebody 10% of, let's just say you got one property, you're getting $800 a month, you paying somebody $80 a month off the top just in case something happens, just to answer some calls if they get the calls. When you can be putting that same money back into another investment, back into your account, back into a traveling account, whatever it is that you would want to use that 10% for. So now, if you have more than one property, now you have 5 times 10%, you're paying a nice penny every month, just again to someone, aka property manager, to manage your property in case something happens when you can do the same thing that they are doing. So this guide, this course is put together to help you save on your bottom line. Getting in the real estate business, you barely make a nice spread. You can't quit your job after one to maybe five properties. You still have to have other streams of income because the spread isn't the way they make it seem in the investment or real estate world. What do I mean? So, off of each particular property or door, a lot of investors refer to them as, if you're receiving $1,000 in rent, after you subtract all your maintenance costs and fees, and if you're paying any utilities on a single family home, you normally are not. If you're paying a mortgage or not, after you subtract the fees from the $1,000 rent, we are happy as real estate investors to make anywhere from 200 to 500 on the high side net income. Gross income is the $1,000 a month. Net income will be the $200 to $500 a month per door. So if you're giving someone 10% of that, aka property manager, now that keeps you having to work a lot longer and accumulate a lot more properties. So what I have done and been doing and created a system in doing is, first, and this is you guys sitting down with someone trying to convince you why you should hand over the rights and responsibilities of your property, where you came up with the money to purchase these properties. You put in the blood, sweat, and tears to find these properties. You put in the blood, sweat, and tears to find these property contractors to put these properties back together for you. Now you are sitting down with somebody because your mentor may have taught you, and that's okay. That's the maybe the only way that they have learned, is to always factor in a property manager. So they sat you down with a property management company who you're considering right now of turning over full control to them so they can manage your property and you can pay them, or half-ass manage your property and you can pay them a percentage every month, and then they pay you. That's almost like a job. I do all the work from the beginning, allow you to get all my paychecks, and then you pay me and give me a bill for what you subtracted out of it. So from day one, when I'm considering a tenant, and a lot of tenants that uh, I consider, and I manage other people's property also, that just feels that they're comfortable with me and I'm straight up enough that I'm not overcharging them, and that, I'm responsible enough to manage their properties, and they're fine with understanding I am getting a percentage just in case something happened. The way I'm explaining this to you guys who are listening and purchased the guide today is the same way I explain to other clients that uh, like me to manage their properties. A lot of properties that I control, or government housing, Section 8, uh, that's considered government housing. We provide low income housing for clients. We are a business. See how that sounds a whole lot better than running around saying I'm a landlord. See, people that, are just getting started in the business, they're excited to say, I own this, I own that, I am a landlord. Those are things from the beginning you will, like to say. But as you continue to grow and become, a lot larger in the investment world, you'll start using language as such as, I am a low income housing provider. Instead of using tenants, you'll use clients. Instead of using own, you'll say I control. So the first thing I do when I get a tenant, and I am going to accept them as a client to allow them to move into a property of mine, before I sign any paperwork or contract, they must give me a security deposit. When they give me the security deposit, that shows that they are serious. And now we, the property managers, start the background check on these clients. It don't matter if they're government housing, Section 8, however they are paying, we still check to see what type of tenants they are. Have they been evicted? Their credit score. We reach out to previous landlords. Now, when you reach out to previous landlords, always do this trick. When asking the landlords questions about the previous tenant, and you should always have the previous tenant sign a permission form for you to ask the previous landlord questions, because some previous landlords or property management companies will say or ask, do you have a signed document for them to release the previous tenant's information? So when you're asking them your set questions to kind of evaluate what type of tenant this may be and why they are moving, always ask a wrong question. Meaning, now this tenant lives at 123 Main Street, right? That's what you would say, knowing that this tenant really lives at 567 Apple Street. Now, why do I do that? Because a lot of tenants will give you someone else's number and say that they are the landlord, rehearse with that person what they should say, and now they're saying the best of all things about that tenant. And now you feel, okay, this is a good tenant, but here you've been talking to a family member. That's strategy number one. So when you ask that wrong question and they say yes, you already know that this isn't the landlord or the property management company. So you deny their application from the beginning. Give them back their deposit. Now, if you're going to move forward with this tenant, once they give you the deposit, their background check you're comfortable with. If they're going through a program such as Section 8 or anything of that matter, government housing, then you fill out the paperwork. Never fill out the paperwork first without a deposit. Why? Because there always occurs some type of problem to where the tenant now need to hurry up and move. You filled the paperwork out. Now there's a problem with the tenant providing additional information for their housing. Now you then found this out a month or two later, have no deposit, and you took the property off the market when you could have rented it to another potential tenant. So always get their deposit up front, and that's normally the security deposit or move-in deposit, whatever you want to refer to it as. Get that up front, then fill out the paperwork. That makes them stay on top of getting any paperwork together that may be needed for them to move in. Never allow them to move in prematurely. Never allow them to move in without you and whatever uh, program they're going through having a lease signed and sealed between y'all when the lease date starts and everything else. Believe me, I'm talking to y'all from experience. As I mentioned earlier, I've been investing since 1999. I've been there, been through a lot, still experience ups and downs. So I won't be able to cover everything in this video, in this guide, but I will allow you, once you purchase this guide, to schedule one free 1 hour phone call session with me to go over anything else that you feel I may have skipped or left out. I want to see you guys be successful at growing a real estate business, growing a real estate company, in hiring your own property management company. So that's why I included this video along with this guide, along with different contracts so you can get started and on your way. From day one, you want to set the stage and the standard for the tenant. What do I mean by that? If it's a single family home, if they are responsible for anything, you let them know in writing, day one, what they're responsible for, such as if they're responsible for grass, if they're responsible for garbage collections, whatever they're responsible for on that property while it is in their possession, you let them know that they will be fined if they are not taking care of keeping the upkeeps of the inside and outside of the house. And you also have that in writing so they can sign off on it. The first day that they move in, you do a walkthrough with them with a list of everything that they may have found wrong. And if they haven't found anything wrong on that first day of walkthrough, they must initial and sign off that the property was in A1 shape when they moved in. Why is that? Because now when they move out, you want it in that same condition. And that's what gives you the rights to be able to withhold anything from any deposits that they may have been expecting back. Now, while I'm on returning deposits, please, whatever you do within 30 days, and look up these laws in whatever city or county that you may be in or investing in to see how these laws work. But you must, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, provide within 30 days a breakdown of why and what the costs were that you subtracted from any deposit, security deposits that was due back to the tenant. If you do not do that, they can sue you for double the deposit. So make sure you listen to this again and itemize the price and what it is that you're deducting from the cost of their security deposit. After you do a walkthrough, y'all sign on what you found or didn't find, and if you did find anything, you let them know. Someone will be back to take care of it within a week or two in a reasonable amount of time. Then you sign off on it and move on. In your lease, you want to have your own lease and whatever lease that you signed with the agency they came to you through. So you want to have two leases. In your lease, you structure it